My name is Gregg Dion, and I'm with the Theater Arts Department here at Fresno State. And I teach our dramatic literature courses. Teaching this course in my position previous to me, we're using. This has 1,800 and some pages, and it costs, I think the list price on it is $106. And it feels like about 40 pounds. In fact, I think I injured my knee carrying it with me today. This is the kind of thing that I've actually been wanting to get away from, and by going, and of course this has something like 60 plays or more in it. Of course, nobody would ever use all of them, so what's done is just load up lots of possibilities. But they all tend to be older plays too. There's many by Shakespeare and so forth, and very little that represents contemporary work. So if that's the nature of one's course, I suppose this could be handy, but even then there are less expensive ways to do it, and this is just so bulky and so forth. On the other hand, what I use are things like these, which are one at a time. All you have to carry to class is the one that we're working on, and at $8 new or $5 used, they're not that expensive and much easier to work with. What the ebooks allow me to do is to allow the students to do is avoid having to purchase a book, because instead they can share it from the library. I've also got online versions of those that came from the Gutenberg project that I've been able to put on Blackboard, and in fact I've even gone in and edited them so that they're a bit more readable. Now, I do some plays that are older, public domain things. In fact, I use a couple of Dover thrift editions that cost $2 new. They cost virtually nothing, and that's not a bad solution for some people. Don't like Dover thrift if it's a foreign work because the translation might be 100 years old. Some of the language may be a bit arcane, but there too, that's not such a bad thing. I think that my students have to work a little bit, have to struggle a little bit to keep on top or follow the language. That's a type of learning as well. I am an Affordable Learning Solutions faculty. Another advantage I've found to the ebooks is that in general I tend to like to leave when I'm scheduling a course, I sort of like to leave the plans free for the last week, and this allows me time, to catch up if we've gotten behind, or to plug in something else. I could show a film if that were the called for, but in particular what I find that I can do now is fix on an ebook available through the library and have that as a kind of backup plan. I don't need to mention it to the students until we get there, but if we arrive at the final week and everything's gone on schedule and we do have one more week, I can throw one more play at them to read, because nobody has to buy it. I don't have to commit to it and have them purchase it and then be obligated to do it, but as long as there's time available, I can throw that at them last minute, because nobody has to make a purchase, and so we can read one more play. I've got my designs on doing one this semester. I hope I'm able to work it out and do it, but that kind of flexibility is something that you certainly have nothing like that in using printed texts alone that have to be purchased. And so this is something that, at least it works for me. I do like having that flexibility at the end of the semester. A topic that perhaps needs more discussion in regards to affordable solutions is just the use of textbooks, period. Now, I know in some certain areas and courses and subjects it's just kind of unavoidable. But I often think too, though, that sometimes we use textbooks just to make things easier on ourselves. And I decided, some time ago to get away from the anthologies and similar things and use primary sources. And I think more of us should be thinking about the possibility of doing that.